Hi guys, Tracy Andas. Welcome to my channel. Today we're recapping my favorite series, Married at First Sight. This is the season 18, episode 8 edition, and this is Chicago. So let's get into it. Carla and Juan spend time together, cleaning and doing day-to-day things. And they're getting ready for their friends, and they're getting ready for a toga party. What a blast. orders tacos for their party. Then comes a rather judgy argument from Akiche. I mean, of course, he always finds something to harp on. It seemed confusing, actually. What exactly is his problem? First, Akichi gives her this look like, why are you ordering tacos when we can just make them? Now, that is about finances. He's really jealous of her finances, you guys, and he thinks she's frivolously spending money, which she's not. She just didn't have time to make a bunch of food when she's been working all day. I'm starting to see a theme here with their arguments, and we'll see if he can get over this issue or not. I don't think he's going to admit to it that it's finances that's a problem. He'll put it on something else because he would feel less than if it was about money. But it's about money. And this isn't the first time has had to deal with this. MM's cousin is coming to the fiesta. And this can be a little bit of a problem because he was a bit tough on Akiche. So we'll see if he's softened his approach. Michelle enjoys more of a group setting when it comes to David because she doesn't have to get deep and have any real conversations with him. Michelle treats David poorly, almost like an afterthought or an ambivalence. And David is trying so hard to communicate with her and build a bond, but she's 100% not interested, and it shows. And he's getting tired of it, you guys. He's starting to lose interest. And if he's anything like me, when you're done, you're done. There's no like second chances. You give a really long first chance, but no second chances, sorry. Madison and Alan take a cardio class together, and poor Alan, he is trying so hard to keep up, but it's not easy. This is a hard class. And I think you shouldn't scare him, Madison, because he's probably not going to go to a second class. I'll tell you one thing I believe wholeheartedly. If you try to make somebody into something they're not, they're eventually going to build a resentment toward you. And they're also going to revert back to who they truly are. So you're really just wasting your time. And I see this happening with Madison and Alan. He'll put up with it for a little while because she's so darn pretty. But he's going to get tired. I mean, looks only go so far. The question I have is, why does everything have to be such a long-winded dialogue with Alan? It's like you can tell she's lost halfway through the conversation. It's exhausting, and you stop listening. And they're just early on in their relationship, and she's already like, oh my God, get to the point. And he's so oblivious to the fact that he does this. He just doesn't see it. But I'll tell you, it's annoying. I'm annoyed, so I can only imagine how annoyed Madison is. That's when you start to give really quick, curt answers back because you don't want to give them anything to continue to talk about. You just want to be like, okay, yeah, sure, I get it, you know? Those responses are just basically saying, I'm not interested when you get those. Camille's sis, Gabrielle, and Thomas go to Thomas's twins' house, and Camille's excited to see her guy in his comfort zone, and she really likes his family and friends. This is really a good vibe and a fun vibe, and it's what everybody needs. It's really an awesome group of people. Thomas is working on his shortcomings from his past relationships. Camille is used to a more showboaty kind of guy, and now she's met this quieter man, a gentler man, and I just don't think she knows quite what to do with it, but it's not like she doesn't like it. She's just trying to figure it out. Thomas is used to a less genuine person, and this relationship seems to be a slow burn, but it's working, you guys. I'm not hearing them say anything negative about each other like some of the other couples, or all of the other couples are. Gabby's really a fan of Thomas, and she thinks he would be great for her sister. And she knows her sister better than anybody, and you know what? She's absolutely right. He's great for her sister. The cultural difference was brought up again and discussed, and Tim thinks that Camille will really challenge his brother. And that's a positive. I mean, that's what you want in a relationship. The toga party is in full force. The food looks amazing, but everybody really needs to get their drink on and lighten up a bit, because it just seems really tense and a little bit awkward and boring, to be honest. These two definitely need to work on their communication. When Juan is asked if he compliments Carla, he doesn't. And not only does he not compliment his girl, he's just very self-involved. And she doesn't feel good about herself or the relationship. If a guy really likes you, he gives you tons of compliments. It wouldn't take much, just open your eyes. She's beautiful. He uses the, how am I supposed to know that she wants a compliment? Well, what girl doesn't want a compliment? Isn't it innately part of you as a man to know to compliment a beautiful woman and to spend time with your girl? He just doesn't have time for anybody but himself. Michelle and David are so uncomfortable around one another. Michelle's excitement when her friends arrive and lack of excitement when it's just she and David is pretty obvious. Michelle makes it be known she and David do not sleep in the same room. David knows he can improve things about himself, but he wonders, does he even have a chance? He's going to do all this work and change himself for somebody that's not even interested in him. It's not going to make a difference in the long run or in the short run. Michelle again talks about how important it is for her to find someone to enhance her lifestyle. It sounds like she just wants a sugar daddy. Maybe she should go that route. Look, I get it. Michelle does not want to be poor again. She grew up that way. She is not interested in going back to that lifestyle, which if you see where David's house is, where his parents live, he's not exactly poor. Finances come and go throughout one's life. So what you really need to build on is a strong friendship and connection and love for one another so you can get through those hard times. Typically, it can go up and down, and ultimately finding a partner who can weather the storm is what we all need. Michelle has a vision of her financial future. Trust me, it never goes the way that you envision it. And it doesn't seem to include anyone but herself. Her house, her car, her this, her that. In relationships, you build your future and dreams together. Each person has to make compromises at different times in their life. David is stacking his money to be able to buy the right house for his family and his future children. David is used to a stable background with his parents being together for 36 years and his grandparents for 58 years. This is where he gets his stability. Michelle and her sister grew up with a very unstable home, so they most likely look at money as stability as opposed to relationships. And it makes total sense, and I get it, but you're old enough now, Michelle, to make some changes. David is the opposite of Michelle, and that's just the bottom line. He views strong family connections as his strength and stability. Sooner or later, David will shut down and he's going to stop trying. And Michelle's going to be disappointed that she lost such a good man, because he really is a sweet person and he's not so self-absorbed like Juan or so mean like Akichi. Akichi's just mean. I'm a Leo and I give a lot in relationships. But if I see no reciprocation or interest, I'm out. And that's all there is to it. I get to a certain point where I've tried and tried and tried. And if it's just not working, and I'm talking about friendships too, I just don't have enough energy for it. I'm just not getting enough in return. I'm just going to save my energy all for myself. Now, I really think it's time for Camille and Thomas to take it to the next level. I mean, they've already got a pretty darn good bond. And that just one missing thing, when they tackle that, it's going to be an awesome relationship. That's what I believe. Akichi and MM's fiesta has arrived. And I love Rico. He's such a good little boy. He's just sitting there being so sweet and calm, unlike Luffy, who's just a total spaz. Rafio has arrived, and hopefully MM's cousin is on his best behavior, unlike he was at the wedding. Grilling someone at a wedding isn't a good look, and it wasn't a good look for him at all. And it really put Akichi off. The conversation starts out great. However, he describes MM as beautiful, very passionate, ambitious. Then he has to go and open his mouth and say aggressive. We all know that's not a good word to use about a woman. And he meant it that way. He meant it as not a compliment. Damn, dude, you really blew it. It was going so well, and you just had to say it. What a fail. He feels like he is constantly being interviewed. This is like a fast track relationship. You need to get to know one another. So you're going to have to ask some questions. And if he feels like he's being interrogated, well, that's on him. He needs to look at it in a different way. MM's cousin says, I've asked you if you could handle her, insinuating that he can't. And maybe he can't. Maybe she's just too strong of a woman for him. My father and brothers all independently went to my husband before we got married. They all said to him, she needs a lot of attention. Are you sure you can handle it? And my husband's like, yes, I can handle it. That's when I knew I had the right man. And Mem thinks aggressive is a poor interpretation of who she is, and I would have to agree. I don't find her to be aggressive at all. Just strong, just powerful. And I would have to agree, a strong, confident woman doesn't always translate into aggressive. He used the wrong word, and he's never going to admit it. He's just going to go with it and try to make a word fit that doesn't fit. There's a reason why these experts pair these couples up together. They take a lot of time, and they really work hard to find a perfect match, but nothing's perfect, but as perfect as they can find, and a match that will balance out the other personality. Akichi is a pretty antagonistic type of personality. Being intentional with getting to know one another doesn't seem to be at the top of many of these participants' list. He's starting to really rub me the wrong way, and I think he's rubbing MM's family the wrong way, and maybe even MM. It's really smart not to offend the family. It's not a good look, and it's not going to help your relationship at all. Madison tells Alan he needs to go because she's going to plan a spa day with her girlfriends there, and she just really needs him out of the house. But in actuality, she's planning a party for her man. And she just needs time to decorate the place, get the food together, and get the friends over so it can be a surprise. Gabrielle and Thomas and Camille meet for a nice conversation. Another conversation about race, which I tend to feel they're using this platform as a way to have a conversation. And that's fine, but we've already had the conversation. Are we going to have it every single episode? Gosh. At least that's what Camille is up to. Thomas doesn't feel the need to identify as anything other than just himself, and I love that about him. Alan knows how to treat a lady. He compliments Madison all the time, and he appreciates whatever she does things for him, and he tells her that he appreciates it. It's really not that hard. David and Juan, David and Juan can learn a little bit from Alan. They're not even really complimenting their girls. I mean, I understand maybe why David isn't, because when he does, she's like, meh. But Carla's little face lights up when she gets a compliment from Juan. So why doesn't he do it more often? Alan gushes about Madison. He says she's open-minded, she's got her shit together, she's emotionally intelligent, she's beautiful. Notice how he doesn't say beautiful first? Because he wants her to know there's so many things about her that he appreciates, not just her beauty. The thing is, he's not telling Madison all these things. He's telling her friends and family. He really needs to tell Madison how beautiful she is, smart, intelligent, open-minded, all these things. That's what she's missing from him. Alan cares much more about a relationship than on just a superficial level. He wants a genuine best friend. He would like Madison to slow down and spend more time with him so they can have some really nice conversations and get to know each other better. But that's not really her personality. She's kind of a go, go, go kind of girl. So if you want to get to know Madison, you need to be a go, go, go kind of guy. Madison sees Alan as trying really hard, and she does appreciate that. But she's not inviting him when she goes out. She's not proud to show him off. And she probably is annoyed by his constant chatter so much that she really just needs a break from him. And I get that. David's making Michelle dinner, and it comes up that he worked out with Madison, and she doesn't like that. But the fact is, he gets up every morning. They are living in the same building. She gets up early in the morning, and they're both at the gym at that time. That's just the way it is. But I wouldn't like it either. I'm a jealous type. If my man was going to the gym every morning at 6, and so was beautiful Madison, I would not like it. David makes a great dinner, and this is impressive. And he's trying to pull out all the stops and show Michelle that he's a catch. I'm not sure if he really cares about Michelle at this point. I mean, she's treated him so badly. But I'm sure he wouldn't mind letting her know what she's going to be missing. Did I hear Michelle give David a compliment? She did, but not on himself, on his food. But you never know, this could be the flip of the switch. Maybe a little jealousy, maybe a little good food can turn everything around. The way Carla looks at Juan always seems like she doesn't trust him. And I don't think she really does. I think Juan is missing the whole love language thing. He thinks cleaning and doing things around the house is his love language. Well, maybe it's his love language, what makes him feel loved, but that's not what works for Carla. And you're supposed to be doing the other person's love language. I just don't think he understands. She's more interested in quality time and physical touch, not being your maid. I imagine you have to ask somebody that you care about for affection. If they don't give it freely, you probably aren't going to want it. It's really heartbreaking. I feel really bad for Carla. I mean, she's such a sweetheart and she's beautiful. What's not to like? And I think that's part of the problem, is she's just confused. Why doesn't he like her? They started off so good. Clearly, Juan is not getting what he needs either. His love language is acts of kindness. And at least they're talking about it. They're getting to know what the other one finds important. And they can make some changes. It's flag football day, the day after Alan's party and huge hangover. So he decides not to show up. And this really bothers Madison. I mean, she planned this. And David is very physical. He loves a good sport event. And all these old folks, their legs are cramping and they're hurting themselves. The body doesn't lie. When you're in your 40s, you can't run around like when you're in your 20s. You might have the heart to do it, but you don't have the physicality to do it. And you pay, and Thomas is paying. He hurt himself. Carla isn't feeling romantic vibes with Juan, not even a little bit, and he's not feeling it either, and I am so shocked about this. It's just so amazing that a relationship could start out one way and someone does just completely turns them off. It happened with Akichi and MM, and it happened with Juan and Carla. But Dave and Michelle, she was never into him. Well, actually, she was for a moment until she found out he lived with his parents. So it's just amazing to me. One little thing, and that's it. Turned off forever. Akichi is very clear that he needs to feel a connection before intimacy. I don't know. I wonder what he's hiding. It's been 12 years. Something's going on that we don't know about. Mem is feeling hurt by the aggressive comment, and I don't blame her. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. And maybe that's just his excuse as to why he doesn't want to get intimate. I'm not buying it. Madison is also struggling to feel romantic, especially because Alan just got so messy the night before. And she likes to drink, but she's not a party girl by any means. There is a limit to your consumption. But she's going to have to give him some grace because it was with his friends and it was his birthday and he just really wanted to have fun. And you shouldn't have expected him to get up early the next day and do anything physical when he had a hangover. Okay, you guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. The season's really starting to heat up. There's some stuff coming I'm really excited about. I'll drop the next one tomorrow because it's so juicy, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye.